On air on adhd. The most sought-after panelist and editors. Regular daily telecast of interactive show on channel Disha TV. Dr. Navdeep Sharma, live, in Northeast on famous national TV channel on Times 24. Newspaper accolades. Indian-Tibetan Therapeutic Exchange Camp 2007. Ayurvedic Camp. Holding regular philanthropic free health checkup campaigns. Regular Ayurvedic shivers. Organization of yogic camps in various parts of the country. YND Karnaragam Private Limited. We provide research-based treatment in all sorts of chronic ailments. My promise to patients. My beliefs. Academic credentials. Our media associates. Certificates of qualifications. Welcome to ND Karnaragam Panchkarma Center. Another indoor wing of naturopathy and Panchkarma. Now operational under the able guidance of Dr. Navdeep Sharma.
A very good day to all of you, and welcome you all to the live interactive session which we are today having on autism. When we talk about autism and children suffering from autism, the number of children who have been suffering from autism are on a rise ever since we have come approximately out from the COVID era. One of the major reasons which I generally see in such children, the number of cases rising in children, is that the social interaction which we generally otherwise seem to have in children of 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years with their peers, which develops the coordination between their conscious and their subconscious mind. That was not happening during the COVID era. As a result of that, the number of cases they drastically went up during this COVID era. And that is where we generally focus on when we are giving treatment to any autism child suffering anywhere on this globe. I always tell and guide my patients who approach me that, see, when we talk about autism, it's more about autism being a disease of the mind than autism being a disease of the brain. Many a times the parents of children who are suffering from autism, they will come to me with the MRIs of their children, and they share with me that, see, the MRI of our child is perfectly all right. Now if the MRI of the child is perfectly all right, why is my child still autistic? I always guide such patients that, see, autism is not a disease of the brain, it is a disease of the mind. And if we want a kid to be out of autism, we need to be working on the coordination between the conscious and the subconscious mind. And that's what we have been doing in the treatments that we provide to our patients of different ethnicities around the globe. We focus on the development of the coordination between the conscious and the subconscious. And when we do that, I always guide the patients who start treatment with us that, see, it is a teamwork of us being the consultants, our psychotherapy team, or the psychotherapist who is working with your child at your own choice, and you as a parent, of how you need to interact with your child when you are at home with your child. These three factors combined in a nice way can bring the child out of autism. And if rightly done, as I always say, autism then is a phase of life, it is not a disease. But then the most important is if it is treated timely and in a proper way. So if any one of you has a child who is suffering from autism, and do remember, the child is having as good a brain as a normal kid. It's only and only the mind of the child where we need to be working. And once we start working on the mind of the child, for example, if we use a particular herb and that herb gives a particular effect on the brain, we need to be utilizing that effect in the form of a positive action by one of our psychotherapists. And that is what we have been doing since so many years. Many a times, children, they visit some Ayurvedist, they will use certain herbs like Brahmi, Centella asiatica, then Shankpushpi, Vacha, Tagar. So many herbs are nowadays available in the supplements of Ayurveda. And those herbs, they are given to children, the children consume those herbs. It's not that these herbs are not good enough, but then utilizing these herbs without a proper guidance, without a proper planning, turns these herbs into mere tonics. Since most of the Ayurvedic work revolves around giving Medha Rasayanas, Sanghya Sthapan, and there is no particular guidance given on at what stage of autism what is required. That's why when you are giving treatment to your child from a normal Ayurvedic doctor or a normal herbologist, the biggest problem which you may face is that even though the herbs shall be good enough, overusage of herbs, mixing of those herbs which are reducing the effect of each other, may result in the child not getting the desirable recovery. Now, if you really want that this particular phase needs to be tackled, it becomes very important for everyone then that the autistic child should have a synergism properly of the right kind of herbs, the right kind of psychotherapies, and along with that, the right kind of Ayurvedic therapies given together. I would welcome the questions from all of you and who are there with us. And there are certain network issues due to which my stream may be not that proper for you, but for all of you who are there joined with us right now on our channel Wrist Pushed, I would request you that you can keep on writing your questions, and I will definitely be answering your questions while I am guiding about autism. So Amolji, you have mentioned that your son Arsh is 5 years old and have he does not have sense of potty and toilet. He's already taking our medication since last 6 months. So Amolji, what I would appreciate over here is, which I always guide my patients, is that do remember that you are in any case required to share the videos of your child interacting with you after every 15 days. Every 15 days, I would request you, please share the videos of your children with us so that we can see how you are interacting with the child. And always remember that once a child goes above the age of 3 years, even if we are giving the best of treatment and the treatment is working for your child, the conscious and the subconscious are interacting in a better way with the help of the treatment. It becomes very important at that juncture. For someone, it can be a special trainer at your end, it can be you as parents under our guidance, and it can also be our special educator who can train the child artificially. See, a change will occur in the coordination between the conscious and the subconscious. Now we need to develop a conditioned reflex for the child, and when the conditioned reflex needs to be developed, it has to be developed under some guidance. Many a times the parents, they value our medications, they value our advice, they will keep on taking the medication in a proper way, which you must be currently taking in your child's case, but the rest of the guidance which is given to them as parents, at times the parents do not follow the psychotherapeutic guidance which is required for their child, and that may make the recovery part, specifically in toilet training, in public training and all, a bit tougher. So my request to you over here shall be that immediately you can contact your coordinator, and your coordinator then be connecting you to our special educator, and you can share this thing with our special educator. I would also appreciate if you can share some videos regularly. The maximum gap between sharing us videos for 2 consecutive days can be 15 days gap between 2 consecutive video shares with us, so that we can keep on checking out what exactly is the development and what exactly needs to be done in that case. And Mohitji, the child will further keep on improving. That's really good that the child is improving. And then Rajesh Patak ji, thanks a lot for the encouraging words. And there are many of you who are there with us and who are taking treatments. Your children are getting good recovery. There must be many of you who may be facing some issues. What happens at times is, just a few days back, some of the patients, they asked me that can brain noir cause cold in a child. Now that was a common question which flew from many of the patients, that can brain noir cause cold to the child. Maybe due to changing season, due to rainy season, someone might be giving brain noir to the child and the child may have developed some cold. Then what I always guide my patients is that, see, when you are giving brain noir to your child, the type of herbs which are there in Breno R. Luckily, whether it's Breno R or Breno A, both of those contain immune system promoting herbs. Since both contain immune system promoting herbs, even if the child is in a habit of developing viral infections, the Breno R will rather decrease the chances of child getting cold rather than increasing those. So be rest assured, Breno R as a syrup will always boost the immunity of your child, and it will bring down any chances of cold if they are in a child's case. Now that is one of the major concerns which came my way, and another concern which some of the children they asked from me is about the hyperactivity part. There are children who are of a higher age group and who are very hyperactive when they come to us, and when we give them Breno R, many a times the parents are expecting that Breno R will sedate their child just like any other allopathic medication, and maybe on immediate basis the child will have a lesser degree of hyperactivity. Now what I always guide my patients over there is that, see, definitely when there will be a prolonged usage of Breno R, the subconscious mind will start dominating the conscious mind to an extent that the hyperactivity can very nicely be controlled, but not before that. Any kind of Breno R given to the child will not give an immediate effect in your child's hyperactivity. It can neither reduce that, it can neither increase that. The hyperactivity of your child by the usage of Breno R is not going to be affected on immediate basis. It is not like an allopathic medication where you take a pill and there will be some effect in the person within a few hours or 1 or 2 days. It's only when prolonged usage of Breno R is done in a child that the subconscious mind gets empowered enough and the hyperactivity of the child is controlled, managed in a positive way, in such a way which is not a temporary control of hyperactivity but a permanent kind of control of hyperactivity in the child. So that is the effect of Breno R in the body of a child. Another common question which parents do ask when they are taking treatment from us in case of autism is that when can we expect our child to be showing good results? I always advise the parents that please be patient with us at least for 3 to 6 months of time. For us to be showing changes in autistic child when we are giving treatment, see, the first step is that the herbs which will be given to your child, the safe herbs, we always believe in giving the safest of herbs to our patients. For us, safety is the prime concern. Life of each child is precious. We always believe in giving the safest of medications, the safest of herbal supplements to any child who is taking treatment from us. So, with the safest of herbal extracts, we always try to give the quickest of recovery. So, when we give our herbal supplements to anyone, our herbal supplements they start getting absorbed in the bloodstream from the day one itself, and then gradually they bind with the plasma proteins in the body. Then they will go to a peak plasma level, and then they will start working on mind. Very soon, within a few days of the usage of medication, the subconscious mind starts getting empowered. But since it is not through any kind of sedation but through the empowerment of our subconscious mind that we are expecting the child to improve, that's why you may not be able to see an immediate reduction in the hyperactivity of your child. There are certain supplements which, if the parents request that the child is too hyperactive, the child is very destructive, then we may be forced to use some supplements after guiding the parents that, see, these are the temporary supplements. This is neither going to cause any harm to your child nor going to give some benefit to your child. It will only be temporary reduction in the hyperactivity that these supplements can do for the child. But then the long-term usage, when we are giving it for a longer time period without any sedative, the Breno R is good enough to increase the activity of your subconscious mind to such a nice extent that immediately you will see within a few months that the child is now less hyperactive. The second major change which a parent can see with brain OR is that the child now will become more concentrating. The child will listen to the parents in a better way. The child will concentrate in a better way. And the special educator of your child will now tell you that now the child is focusing in a better way on what I am trying to teach the child. Now, that is something which is very important for an autistic child, because if a child is autistic, if his age is above 3 years, now along with the usage of herbs, the child needs special training. So if the child starts concentrating in a better way, it really helps out the child. So that is our prime focus when we are giving the treatment. And once the child starts concentrating, we always guide the parents that, see, you are the best educators for your child. Now that is something which is really very important for the child. Just try to feel a thing that we are willing that the child should be able to speak, and we are giving a particular herbal supplement to the child. Now we are expecting our child to speak, but as parent, our child does not speak out when he's hungry, and merely with his or her sign language the child is able to prove us what exactly he wants from us. And we as parents, if keep on listening to the sign language of our child in the same way, the child will not speak, because that negative behavior in your child will become reinforced. So if you want our child to speak out after a few months of our medications, you need to be strict in certain things with your child. And that is why we always keep on guiding the parents through our regular live sessions, my sessions, my team sessions, our psychotherapist sessions, our yoga sessions. We keep on going live through our channels with the basic motive of guidance. Because you may be taking treatment from anywhere in the world, the most important is, if a child is autistic, the child should definitely come out of autism, because autistic child deserves to be absolutely normal. Autistic child is not having a problem in his brain in majority of the cases. Leave apart the chromosomal aberration children or someone who had a delayed cry at the birth time. Leave aside those few cases. In majority of the cases, what I see is that the brain is absolutely perfect, and still, despite the brain being perfect, the child is having autism only and only because we need to be working on the mind of the child. Mind, which we call man in Ayurveda. In our ancient sculptures, we call mind as man. Manyate avbudhyate gyayate anen iti mana. This is what is said in the ancient texts. So all kind of intelligence, specifically the social intelligence, is dependent upon our mind. And that is what is the basic problem in autistic child. Sometimes when autistic child, the parents, when they will approach us, they will tell us that the child does speak out a few things in front of us. The child is able to do a lot many things in front of us, but when we expect the same thing